President Joe Biden in the Midlands, stepping off Air Force One just before noon at Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Biden greeted by Congressman Jim Clyburn and Columbia Mayor Daniel Rickenmann. The president also meeting with supporters just minutes before his motorcade brought the commander-in-chief to Flex LTD manufacturing in West Columbia. That's where the president pumped up green energy and job creation, and there's even more to come. The president announcing a multi-million-dollar investment that's about to bring more jobs to the region. Our friend Clairvaux is there. He's live now outside Flex LTD, where the president talked not too long ago. Friendy, President Biden says he can take some of the credit for the good news we hear.
Well, Brian, President Joe Biden spoke for nearly about 25 minutes at this facility directly behind me here, where he highlighted his Inflation and Reduction Act as well as the CHIPS and Science Act, which he says in part helped to bring us to where we are today, that multi-million-dollar announcement. And plus, at the center of it all, Brian, this handheld device here that's called a microinverter.
We're creating jobs here and exporting American product, not jobs. That's the story here in South Carolina.
600 jobs to be exact for the Palmetto State. That's the word coming from President Joe Biden speaking to this crowd here at Flex. The manufacturing plant is teaming up with solar energy firm Enphase. The company says a $60 million investment is all about making products that are stamped made in America. Enphase is producing a microinverter. In a nutshell, it's a device used to convert solar energy into usable electricity at home.
Jobs that used to go to Mexico, India, Romania, and China are now coming home to South Carolina.
President Biden saying the move is all thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act.
And just today, the Department of Energy announced new incentives for companies to bring solar power manufacturing back to our shores. We're in a real race. China's ahead of us. This is another step in helping us meet the goal of 100% clean, renewable energy electricity by 2035.
The president also saying it's time for America to be the #1 producer in the microchip industry. At one point, Biden also took a dig at former President Trump for failed infrastructure progress, but he stopped short.
Under my predecessor, Infrastructure Week became a punchline. Every month. Anyway, I won't get into it.
The president telling South Carolinians this kind of manufacturing announcement is what he promised he would do.
And I told you, while I was campaigning, that we'd see this kind of investment in South Carolina, billions of dollars. I think he would have been a little skeptical. But that's why I fought so hard for the things I wanted to do.
And like I showed you all before we aired that story there, so this is the device, the microinverter that we're talking about here from Enphase. I was able to actually get my hands on one of it from one of the workers here. And so what he tells me is that this device will be placed onto the solar panel, and that's how it is going to convert the solar energy into electricity for a home. And he tells me this handheld device right here will cost you somewhere between $100 and $200. Reporting live in West Columbia, Friendy Clairvaux, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Well, not everyone was touting accomplishments. State Republican Party Chair Drew McKissick sounding off about the president's visit and wasn't pulling any punches either, saying in part, quote, "It'll be interesting to see if Biden has anything to say about why inflation continues to rise faster than wages, why the border is still being overrun with illegals, or why his Justice Department has two different standards of justice." Well, President Biden also mentioned a Midlands school district will be getting more than a dozen new electric school buses. Richland 1 is getting those green energy buses. Our Jake Coleman tracking that story. He's live now in Richland County. What do we know here, Jake?
Yeah, Brian, the district will be getting 16 new electric buses that will likely be housed right here in this bus lot behind me on Hopkins. Now, this was first announced just last October in 2022 when the Emergency Protection Agency awarded the district more than $6 million to get this project started. Now, the agency also awarded $58 million in total to 16 different school districts across the state, and Richland 1 is happy to be included in that. The district's transportation service director said he's looking forward to getting more buses, and the district got its first electric bus this spring as part of the Kids Ride Clean contest that currently runs at Brockman Elementary. Now, a Richland 1 spokesperson adds they are excited to get more buses. They're not sure when they will arrive, but because they got the one earlier this year in the spring, they are determined to get more. For now, though, I'm live here in Richland County. Jake Homan, Watch Fox News, local first.
If you want to stay up to date with this story and much more, subscribe to our Watch Fox YouTube page. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update.